Hey guys, in this video I wanted to do some practice. So as you can see, I have already a Stackoverflow database open in front of me. So I wanted to go over the tutorial which we have here. It's provided by Neo4j Sandbox. As you can see, I've already created it. So you can add it here, new project, then select Stackoverflow and just add it to your Neo4j browser or whichever way you would like. And here is a very nice tutorial. So as you can see, we have numerous relations between user and questions, and this is very good to practice graph traversal aggregation and how we can filter out the results. Right, so let's get to it. So as you can see from the schema, we have user who can comment on a comment, and comment can be commented on a question. And user can ask a question and he can also provide answer, right? So he provided answer and answered the question, and questions can have text. So this is additional like a filter of the questions. So this is the whole idea. So how we can get through from user to questions via different paths, and we can use tags to filter out the additional results. All right, so so here we are just importing some data, but we already have it since we're using the sandbox. And in terms of nodes, we're supposed to have around 6,000. All right, so this is how many labels we have of each, and overall we have 6,000, over 6,000 nodes. And yep, so the next one, let's get to the queries, right? So I'm going to use some of those, just explain you what are we doing here, although it might be pretty straightforward, but just wanted to stop on it, and then we'll do something similar just to practice. All right, so the first query is which are the most popular tags? And actually before that, let me just bring back the schema so we can see what are we doing. So it's going to be called the B schema. For some reason I'm not getting the autocomplete. I think it's spelled like this. Yes. All right. So now we have the schema in front of us. Let me just move it a bit. All right. So we have user who asked the question. Let me just zoom it a bit. All right. So what are we doing in this query actually? So we are looking for the which tags, which are the most popular tags, but what does it mean? All right, so we will use this query actually to investigate a bit more schema and yeah, just to use it as a visual representation. So let's, as you can see here, we have relation from question to tags, right? And what will make tag more popular, right? So as I, I would assume you've probably worked with Stack Overflow before, so one question can have multiple tags. All right, so since we're working with Neo4j, we can make it very visual. Let me just comment this out for now, and let me match a question. And let's see what does it mean. And we will return Q, and we will limit to 1, right? So one question can have, as you can see, it has 4 tags. Just we got some question with the ID 0, and it has 4 tags. And what about tag? Tag has as well numerous questions, right? Which tagged it. So a question has numerous tags and a tag has numerous questions. So if we compare this to SQL, for example, this will be many-to-many relation. All right, however, what will make the tag popular, right? So the more question asked it, right? So the higher is the question tag that tag the tag, sorry. So the more popular it is. All right, let me just write down the step. Let me just remove the query for now, like we haven't seen it. So the logic is we need to find all tags with their relations to questions. And then we need to basically group by tags and get the count of the questions. All right, so now let's return back to query, which we have in here. All right. And this is actually what we are doing, right? So we are matching the entire pattern. So we are going from question to tags, right? And we are finding all the tags and all the questions. And then, so how we can do group by in Cypher. So by just specifying the property, this is similar to SQL's group by. So we will group by everything by the name of the tag, and then we can use a function count to get the count of the questions. And this way, everything will be grouped by tag's name. As you can see the result, and we can see, yeah, so the text name and the number of the questions that tagged that have this tag in it. All right, and obviously we are just ordering by here. The sending is just, I mean, I think this is clear. All right, however, one more thing I wanted to show you here is what if we will return questions as well, right? Will it give us the correct results? So for example, we will return question.title here. All right, and the problem here is that we are getting count 1. So why does this happen? And obviously this happens because each question here is unique, yes, is different. So this question has only one Neo4j tag, right? So the count will be always 1. So since we are adding some unique property into this return statement, we are not able to group by, we are trying to basically to group by title and the name. And this combination gives us only count of 1. So just to be aware, in case if you are grouping by and you're getting this weird result, probably you have some unique values, or just the combination of both is unique, and you need to group by, you need to probably remove something from your return statement to get the values. All right, so this was a bit long explanation, but I just wanted to stop by here to make everything clear. Let's move on to the next query. All right, so the next question I want to do is find tags of the most viewed questions. It's going to be a similar one. Just before that, I want to mention that question has a property, view count. I can show it to you like so. If we'll just return Q. So question. All right, so here are the properties. We have link and we have view count already in it. Since we don't have this property somehow in our relations, we're just going to use, I mean, we won't be able to get this property through relations. We're going to use just the property we have already saved on our node. All right, so let's think what we're going to do. All right, so let me just copy this once again. I deleted it somehow. So the first thing we need to do is we need to once again find all the questions and all the tags. And their tags basically. And then since we have on the question view count, right, we're going to display and group by view count. And since every question has numerous tags, right, we need to somehow to group them together. Basically, we need to join them into list, and we can do that by using command collect. So we will join tags into a list, and we're going to return these values. All right, let me just write this query. So the beginning is going to be the same. So I'm just going to copy paste it. So we're matching the question and tags, and then we are basically returning, let's return the view count. I'm just going to make the same alias. Then let's leave the title as well, so we can see which titles are the most popular. And to group everything into list, we can use command called collect. And we're going to name it tag list. All right. And once again, let's order by view count, descending, and limit to 5. Right, let's see the result. All right, I made a mistake somewhere. Add, this should be S. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, title is quite long. Let me move it to the back so it's more visual. All right, so here we go. We're getting the view count and the tag list. So the question with the title, Java input, arrays, etc. has a view count of 1851, and here are all the tags which are in it. I'm not sure if Stackoverflow allows multiple tags, or I mean same tags, if I'm able to attach cypher twice or not. But just in case, if it's possible, we can as well use command distinct. Distinct. I think I misspelled it. Right, distinct. And in case if we have, for example, cypher here twice, it will be removed, right? So it will remove the duplicates. All right, let's move on to the next query. All right, so the question will be to find most answered tags. All right, in other words, we will find all tags with the highest answer count. All right, let's take a look how we can get it. I will close these queries for now. All right, so as you can see, we have, as usual, relation from questions to tags, right? So we need to find the tag, the most answered tags, and how we can get it. We have the answer here, so we will need to build the relation from answer to question to tags, right? And get the highest count of the answers we are getting. It's very similar, but we will traverse the relations, and then we will just add some grouping by, I mean, some filtering, and I will show you, yeah, just some filtering options. Let me just write a quick plan. So we will find all tags through getting them through question. Then we will get answers. And then basically we will group by tags. And get answer count, right? All right, let's write the query. So we will match the tag. It has relation to tagged. For some reason, I don't have an autocomplete. All right, I will type it all from the beginning. And once again, question has in relation. And here is answered. And here we will get a answer. All right, actually, since here we won't need the question, I'm gonna remove the label. And all we are doing here is we are returning t.name, and we are counting A as answer count. And once again, let's order by answer count, descending, and limit to 5. All right, so once again, here is the highest answer count we have for Neo4j. And here let's try to do some filtering. Yeah, right. So since this database was imported previously with mostly Neo4j and Cypher data, let's check out other results. Let's remove, for example, Neo4j from it. So how can we do that? We can write something like where t.name equals Neo4j, right? So how can we make everything but except that? We can add a not clause here, and the Neo4j will be removed. But we have Neo4j epoch here as well, and let's remove this as well. So we can do it using a clause contains. So everything that contains Neo4j now will be removed. Oh, one more. All right, now we don't have Neo4j here, but what if I would like to keep something, I would like just to remove the Neo4j and what was that, Neo4j epoch, or I would like to remove Neo4j and cypher, so we can write another query, for example, and t.name not equal to cypher, right? But it's getting a bit, what if we would like to add the third one and it's getting longer? We can use an array here as well. So we can say not that t.name in an array, and we can make a list here. So this is just some ways you can, I'm showing you because you will be using some programming language, and you can use an array, for example, create an array like this, and then just say not in this array, and it will filter out the results. So for example, not in Python, and now you can just easily make a list and remove everything you don't need here. Or if you would like everything to be in this list, you can make just like so, and you will get everything from this list. All right, so these are just some filtering options. So you can use contains, equals, and in an array. And if you would like to remove something, to remove something, you can use a not clause. All right, so let's move to the next query. So the next question, let's do find the most unanswered tags. This question is actually from the tutorial, but yeah, I think it's very important because I use it quite often. So once again, here we have we can find all the answered questions, right? If we go from the answer to the question to the tags, all the answered tags, but how we can find all the unanswered? We don't have relation like unanswered here, right? However, since we know all the answered questions, all except the answered will be unanswered. So we need to find somehow all the questions which don't have this relation, answered relation, right? Let's do this. So once again, we will yeah, let's match Q question. Okay, I'll type it out. So uncomfortable without the autocomplete. And we'll have tagged here, and we will go to the tag, and then yeah, so how we can do that, how we can remove the relations all except the answered. Once again, since basically we can find all the answered questions, right? Let's find all of those. So we will use the same question we found here, the alias, right? And then we will build from each relation to the answered. And here we will have answer, right? However, we would like actually to remove all these relations. So we can change this to where clause and then use the not statement we just checked. And here we will use the another clause exist. And so basically not exist. Exist will check if this pass exists, right? And not will remove everything that exists. And this way we are able to filter out all the questions which have relations to the answer. And this way we're getting all the unanswered questions, right? So let's return t.name once again as tag name. And we will get count of questions as question count. All right. And once again, let's order by question count, descending, and limit to 10. All right, I made a mistake somewhere. This is not exists. Right. And here we go. So we're getting the count of all the unanswered questions. So just to reiterate, so using the exists clause, we can check uh, if this pass exists, right? We found the Q question, and here we are using the same label. So we are reusing all the questions we found here, and we are checking their relation to the answer. And then we're adding the not clause, which ensures that we are taking only the relations where this pass from Q to the answer, from question to the answer, does not exist. All right, but all the rest is similar. However, this is a quite popular query. I use it quite often where I need to filter out relations which don't exist, obviously. All right, so the next one I want to do, okay, it will be, um, let's find the user who asked the most viewed question, right? Question. So here we're going to use another clause where we can get the highest value of all the properties we have stored in the node. So if you recall, okay, let me just close those for now. So we have question, and on the question we have a property view count. So basically what we are doing, we are trying to find a user who asked a question with the highest view count, all right? So let's see how we can do that. So the first one, we will find all users and their relation to question, right? Then we need to find highest view count. And basically, yeah, group by username. This is a similar query, but I wanted to show you what happens because previously we were using count. And what can you do if you have already count somehow stored in your node? For example, user logs in and you just increment the count. This is what Stackoverflow, I believe they're doing. Just whenever user doing something, they just increment the count inside of their database, and probably they've used SQL database for that. But let's see how we can do this with Cypher. So let's write out the query. So we will have user who did what? He asked Q question. And yeah, we can filter out by tag as well. Let's do that. So for example, so we are using more features of graph databases, where, for example, t.name in, I don't know, Neo4j. Let's do otherwise not, because it will be Neo4j will always be the first result. So we will use the not clause once again. And now, how can we get the highest view count? We're just going to use a command called max, and here we will use view count as, let's name it max view count. And then we can just use the name of the user, right, to group by. So user has a display name, and we can also show the title. you see this, the cool thing I want to show you, if you provided key that it's not in the database, you will get a warning, right? So display, I made a typo with 2 P's, however, I'm getting the warning. So in case if you are worried that the property does not exist, you can, Neo4j basically will tell you about this. And the title as title, and once again, let's order by max view count, descending, and limit to 10 results. All right, so here we go. We are getting, I think we got this question previously as well. However, yep. So we can see the user who asked the question with the highest view count in a descending order. All right, and we filter out the Neo4j tag, and let's add the tag's name as well. Okay, the title is quite long. Let's move it to the back. Yeah, I need to remove this comma. All right. So as you can see, here's the question. So the most popular one had the arrays and etc. Actually, do we have only one? I think it's an array of tags, right? Yeah, it's a list of tags. Did this before and made a mistake by myself. All right, so here we have the list of all the tags, the person who asked it, and the highest view count and the question itself. All right, we did very similar query before, but we were using count before. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how we can use the already saved count on the node. All right, so this will be it for this video. In the next one, we'll do more practice. So here we were using mostly grouping and counting and some basic aggregation. In the next one, we'll play around more with relations and how we can once again filter out the results and yeah, make them visual. Yep, thank you very much for watching this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.